I still got 17 seconds.
That's
All right, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is X Planet Live, and my name is Lionel, and joining me today, we got Mr. Jason Ho.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Good to see you, Lionel.
My man here is a huge fan of 40K. We're going to talk about 40K. This is the 40K Roundtable. And first, we're going to start off with a little bit of background, I guess. We're going to start off with Jason. Jason, how long have I known you?
I would have to say probably over 10 years now.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm going to tell you, I'm like, it's been a while. I think we first met when I opened my store.
Yeah, at the old location.
At the old
Ontario.
location.
Yeah.
And you didn't necessarily see each other in the first year I was operating, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Anyway, the store's been open now for 14 years.
Yeah.
So I guess.
It's like that long, basically, yeah.
So about that long,
Yeah.
give or take. When we met, you were huge into Magic.
Yes.
And for a really long period of time.
Yeah.
And I said, Jason, you should play some Warhammer. You'll love the game.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah. All right, so Jason eventually listened and got into Warhammer. Do you love the game?
I love it.
When did you start? What edition?
Beginning of 8th, actually.
Beginning of 8th.
Yeah, is when I started. That was when I really, well, to be fair, when I first started was actually in 3rd, back when I was like really young.
Yeah.
But then I got into like more, I guess, in a competitive sense in 8th edition. That was really when I started to like look into like list building, army composition, instead of just collecting whatever I thought looked cool, which I did for my first army, which is Death Guard.
Right, which is amazing.
Yes.
Love Death Guard.
Yes.
I love Death Guard. All right. So your trip though has been massive. Okay, so Jason was hardcore into competitive Magic.
Yes.
Got into it. I've known Jason for a while now, and everything he gets into it hard.
Yeah, like 100%. Like
Yeah, you're just all in.
Yeah.
You want to play it the best way you can play it.
Exactly.
You're not saying you're the best player, but you are saying, I will try to be as good a player. And I mean that in every single level. Jason representing the War Game Warriors.
Yes.
And all the guys on the team are just so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I love all of you coming to my events. All of you seem to be absolutely fantastic.
For sure, definitely, especially just recently in TGX,
Yeah.
A bunch of us came to represent,
Yeah.
and then even at your RTT locals, you know.
You guys come all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you guys come all the time, and so that's awesome. So that level of wanting to be the best is a whole big journey. You went from hobby painting models to now still doing the model thing for sure. His armies are very, very pretty.
Thank you.
To now like being technically fantastic at the game as well.
Yes.
So how's that experience?
So I would have to say like the first thing that when I did initially was like you said was the hobby aspect was really what I wanted to do. I wanted to make my models look really nice, but at the same time just try and like see what I can do to play to kind of keep my toes in the game and not just get completely blown out of the water. But then as I realized I was like building developing, like there's a lot of resources on the internet, right? You know, there's YouTube, you can like go on like Reddit, whatever, all these things.
Lots of amazing channels.
Lot of different resources that are able to help you. But I just found that like as I got into it more competitively, it was just like this little spark that kind of like hit me, and I was just like, oh, I can do this. And then there's like these moments, you know, these little light bulb moments where it's like, if I play with this unit, this synergizes with this unit, with this army rule, or even like the mission and secondaries and stuff like that. I love it when like that little light bulb kind of like clicks off.
The interaction clicks off.
It's so good.
It is so good. I knew you were gonna love that. I'm so happy you're in the hobby. It's awesome having you at the tournaments and the rest of you guys in it. So with 10th edition releasing, so you got an 8th, we're now past that, win into 9th, past that, we're in 10th. How are you feeling about 10th?
To be honest with you, 10th is actually my most favorite edition so far in terms of playing it, both in any sense. And the only reason why I say that is because in 10th edition, we actually got secondaries that's for every single army, not specific to your faction based on the codex. That was one of the biggest gripes I had with 9th edition, because a lot of factions, like, based off of your secondaries and what was errated, made or broke your army, whether or not it was functional.
There was haves and have-nots.
Exactly. But in 10th edition, they could completely even the playing field. Everyone has the same set of tactical missions for secondaries or fixed, depending on when we're playing in Leviathan. And yeah, I gotta say, like, especially now with Nexus Pariah and the big shift.
We haven't hit that part yet, but we're getting into
yeah,
it now. Might as well get into it. Pariah Nexus season hit. What do you think of Pariah Nexus?
It's a lot better than Leviathan, in my personal opinion. In the beginning, like, Leviathan was great, but it kind of got stale because it kind of almost like got solved, where to the point where a lot of people shifted initially, everyone taking tactical in Leviathan, but then as things kind of, you know, developed and the meta grew, now it's like, oh, you know that if you take certain fixed objectives in Leviathan, you're going to score like minimum 30 plus points, which kind of made the game a little bit stale. But then with the Nexus Pariah shift and with secret missions and stuff like that,
so good.
Oh, it just kind of completely blew it out of the
so good.
Open. Yeah.
I've been involved in wargaming for a mighty long time, and probably my favorite edition is probably 6th. I liked the beginning of 7th, and then that turned into a giant clown show.
Yes.
And then 8th came out, and I was like, oh man, 8th is gonna save it. And then I hated 8th. I really. Really hated 8th. And then 9th came out, and I also hated that. It's crazy, because I ran a ton of events for all those games and all those editions.
No doubt.
And the thing I always fell in love with is the community. The guys and the ladies who actually play the game, and that's why I constantly ran it. But it was not for the love of the game. I really despise those editions.
Yeah.
I detested the wonkiness of it all, the design.
Yeah.
Foundationally, I despise. When 10th hit, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty. I remember having a conversation with a buddy, and he was, of course, throwing his hands up in the air and saying, 9th was so much better, and I kept on going, no, it wasn't. You're just remembering the last month and a half.
Yes.
That's all you're remembering is the last month and a half.
Not the other 2.5 years.
No, like the trash fire that was 9th. It was just a roller coaster of just terrible. And I told him then that the fundamentals so far of this game are excellent. And he's like, yeah, but look at what's there's like, that doesn't matter. That's gonna get fixed. I'm telling you, the fundamentals of this game are really good. We'll find out when the codexes hit. And as the codexes have been rolling out, what a completely different vibe.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah, for sure.
The codexes are not some sort of weird scaling game of one-upmanship. In some cases, they're downgrades.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but yes.
But the extreme of them, like, what do you think is probably the most extreme codex printed right now?
In terms of just raw power level,
I
would probably have to say Sisters. Sisters of Battle is based off of, like, if you exclude like points and everything, they definitely have the most busted stuff inside of there. And then second is actually probably, I would say, like, even Tyranids now is pretty good, to be fair. After
but
the
not
buffs,
on their codex.
But not on codex release. They were absolutely
They were
terrible.
Okay. They were okay. They were terrible.
They got nerfed like a week. Yeah,
exactly. That moment though. Yeah, it's just, we did test streams for X-Planet Live, and Jason was here with his fellow Adel. And we were watching that game, and it was your Sisters versus his Death Guard.
I was playing new codex, but index point Sisters versus index Death Guard. Yeah. And it was like we were playing a completely different game.
It was.
It was like
I
a
was
different
filming
edition.
it, and I was just telling Gaio. By the way, Gaio's on my Wheels of Steel right now. That friggin' treasure of a human being helped me out tonight. Where was I going to go with that? I was explaining what we were watching, and it's like, Gaio, they're not playing this game right now.
Yeah, it's
poor Adel.
I know.
He was training. He was trying to learn how to play, and he's a Blood Angel guy specifically. Yeah. And you couldn't ask for more opposite Marine Army.
Yeah, exactly.
Like slow, completely unforgiving as well. Mm-hmm. And oh my God, watching you play, Sisters were so bonkers. I was like going, if they don't correct this, they're just going to ruin the meta right now.
And then that exact same list that I played Adel before the points increase, that specific list went up 420 poinds, which is fair.
It was fair,
yeah, it was
honestly, because you did just fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did where'd you rank in TGX?
I was 17th at TGX.
17th out of like nearly 100 players, not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. All right, so 10th comes out. It introduced a few things. One of the concepts it introduced was favoring units, and one more specifically is the battle line troops.
Yes.
Has that affected your list building at all?
Initially, in 10th edition, I wouldn't say so, but in Nexus Pariah,
Yes.
it would kind of did, I would say. Like, initially, it seemed like GW was going to make a big deal out of it. They kind of hyped
Yeah.
up the whole battle line thing.
They
Saying,
did.
You got to need battle line, you got to need battle line. And then turns out it's only really 2 primary missions that kind of need it.
Yeah.
And you only really score, like, for example, let's say raise the banners
Yeah.
is one of the mission rules.
Yeah.
So if you raise the banners, you can only do it with battle line. But if you do it with battle line on one of the objective markers, one of the 5,
Yeah.
You get 1 VP. So realistically,
Not nothing.
It's not nothing. Exactly. It could make or break the game, right?
It absolutely can, yeah.
But like realistically, you would get 1 for home, you get 1 for your expansion, and then if you're lucky, you can get the mid one.
Yeah.
So really, it's like a 3 additional point, most likely
Ish.
2 ish.
Ish, yeah.
Right. And but then what I really like is actually the other mission rules.
Stalwarts?
Yeah, stalwarts.
I knew you were going to say that.
Or rapid escalation to be
Yeah.
able to like get things basically in turn 1 on
Yeah.
the reserve boards.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
going to be that's a big difference.
It is a big difference, and it's funny that rule that they introduced really underscores the haves and have-nots as well, because not every army is blessed with really good troop choices.
Yes, exactly.
And sisters, it's not bad.
It's okay.
It's okay.
They're okay. They're okay.
They're okay. Death Guard, not bad actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we do all right. It's I'm not going to rip through every single army, but can I think of an army where that's not all that great? Maybe orcs. I mean, you would think a big
Orcs.
wave of guys would be pretty good, but not really.
Like Eldar's not something that they would probably want to be interested in using a lot of battle line just because of the current points that they have.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
unfortunate because like you probably want people to be playing Storm Guardians and all that, but like just due to points that like it's not feasible. They have much better things to do with that same amount of points basically.
Yeah, it's stuff that just pours out mortal wounds or
Exactly.
high AP
Like,
shots.
yeah, exactly.
and
Very-
haywire and everything else they get to do and have a lot of fun doing it. Whoa, I'm going to pause here for a second. Like, is there anything else that we're missing for 10th that was exceptionally different? Those are the 2 things that came to my mind.
Yeah, it was mostly the secondary missions that got changed, gambits, and then secret missions. Those were the
Oh yeah.
the
Secondaries. That's what. Okay, so let me ask you.
yep.
So has that changed how you build your list?
Secondaries
Yeah.
from Leviathan
Pariah.
to Pariah?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because the big change from Leviathan to Pariah was the fact that all the secondaries in Leviathan you can complete at the end of the turn. So it didn't matter how durable your unit was, as long as they were fast enough to get to the places that they wanted to go to.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
It scored in a turn.
Yeah.
But in Pariah Nexus,
Yes.
there's, I believe, 3 out of the 5 secondaries that you can actually do actions. You have to survive until the next turn.
Guard is one of them.
Yeah.
You have to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Terraforming.
Like
Again, you have to hold
sabotaging,
on.
all that, yeah.
Sabotaging. Like it's all these things you have to. Durability is important, and that can be expressed in many different ways. And maybe 20 orcs is a form of durability, but that
Yes.
has nothing to do with actions, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, durability is a big deal.
It is.
And it's going to express big time when you're doing list
Yeah.
building, I think. Anything specific for sisters?
Well, in terms of doing actions, I really like using Dominions right now, just because they can be split into immolators, and the fact that they have a reactive move. So while you're doing missions, if they come within 9 of you, you can always kind of scooch behind a wall to stop them from shooting you or to make their charge longer, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing that's really big, I think we discussed this before, was the change in how OC0 can no longer do actions.
That's right.
That's a huge change in how you can play the secondary deck, right?
Yeah.
So, and like Nurglings is kind of like the de facto 0 OC. I'm just gonna like do homers behind, score my 5 points, and kind of call it a day, kind of thing, right? No longer the case because they got like double nerfed in the fact that they can't do actions, and the fact that because swarms actually got nerfed too, they can't go through walls anymore.
That's right.
So you gotta go around now.
And they're slow.
And they're slow. They move 5.
So you would think Nurglings are actually kind of useless in the game now. And initially, a lot of people are like, "Oh no, why would I ever take these things?" I've found, and as most Death Guard players have found, that Nurglings are huge, still a big deal.
Yeah, for
actually,
sure.
a very, very big deal. We actually sorted out some cards just right off the top. These are the ones that we were looking at, and we got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 secondary things they can still do as an OC0 unit. This isn't the Death Guard and Sisters show, but it's going to be the Death Guard and Sisters show a little bit.
Because it's the one that we're most familiar with at the moment.
Well, no, I can wax poetic about orcs as well, and have Marines.
Me too.
But it's what I like about it, about the armies that we're talking about, is your army has an enormous amount of excellent troop choices, and I think Death Guard are one of the cool things that we could express. The downsides are the changes in the new 10th and Pride Nexus generally. One of which is OC0, to which Death Guard have been leaning pretty heavily on Nurglings.
On Nurglings to
specifically.
Score, yes.
And I'm saying still excellent.
Yeah.
I would never build a Death Guard army without Nurglings in it still, which is kind of bonkers, because they still can do all the things for 40 points that you wouldn't want to spend other points on.
Yeah, they can screen, they can still score you secondaries, like doing behind enemy lines,
Absolutely.
or engage on all fronts. There's still plenty of utility for them.
And they infiltrate.
Yes.
And when you're talking about performing some of the secondaries, like no enemy within 6, you could screw up another guy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge.
Area denial, yeah, for
they
sure.
are still absolutely excellent. They can zone out for 40 points. You're like going, well, can't you do that with cultists? It costs 80, 50.
They don't infiltrate. That's the biggest thing.
They don't
can't
scout,
be-
you mean? They don't scout.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah,
yeah,
Death Guard, it's scout.
Yeah.
No, they don't. Meaning
Yeah.
Chaos cultists don't.
They don't, but
They don't.
Nurglings infiltrate.
But
So
what you can do is just drop a 40-point unit on your back. And because all of Death Guard is sticky, well, as soon as you get past that command phase, you got it.
Yep.
Now you could just leave.
while you're
and-
still having those guys to screen your
And they could
backfield.
zone your backfield for 40 points. What unit in your Death Guard army is going to zone out an area for 40 points?
Yeah.
None.
Not.
That's why you have to ally them in.
That's right. Exactly.
And this is crazy. We're talking about how good they are, or at least I'm talking about how good they are. And their points have not changed. And they used to be able to do actions.
Yeah. So even better.
That's how bonkers Nurglings were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I played Chaos Space Marines back towards the tail end of, I guess, last year, because I played CSM pretty competitively
Yes.
last year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You,
And,
you shift for seasons.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you're double shifting.
Yeah, basically.
We'll talk about that in a second.
But yeah, but in my CSM list, at one point I had 9 Nurglings, so 3x3, just because of the utility they had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like blocking, screening,
They're-
actions, anything.
And they still are so
Yeah,
good.
and there were 35 points at one point.
Yeah, 35. There should be 35 points again.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, the other thing I really dig about 10th is vehicle squadrons. That's a big change, right? So vehicle squadrons, you don't score bring it down points until you wipe out the squad.
The entire unit, and it's
Yeah.
based off of the total sum of wounds on the unit. Yeah, so you don't get your pity points for killing just
One of 'em.
one chicken in a squad of 3 from
Squad of
Admech,
6
right?
killer
Yeah.
cans, you kill one, doesn't
0.
matter.
You gotta kill
get
the whole
nothing.
squad,
You gotta
yeah.
kill all 6. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's really hard. So that's a really good point, Lionel, actually. So for Bring It Down from Leviathan to Pariah,
Yeah.
it's been a huge shift. Where
It is huge.
Yeah.
And this has not hit. I'll talk about what he's already heard this spiel, so I'm not gonna. Well, let's talk about it with Sisters, right? Because you have a bunch of squad of vehicles.
Yeah, we won the Paragons with
Yeah.
Val. It's a lot more attractive to run them now.
A lot more attractive.
Yeah, because before Val's squad, like in the old Leviathan, what we would do is that particular squad would feed us or would feed the enemy 8 Bring It Down points.
They would
and
take
5
fixed.
assassinate.
Yeah, they would
easily.
take fixed.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure. But then now it's like you got to kill the whole squad to score some number of points, probably 6 points or so. But then it's like, are you really gonna get through that many wounds of 2+, 4+, and on top of Val, and you can use strats to protect them, all this stuff. It's like
Exactly.
very unfavorable to.
So instead of scoring these incremental, you go nothing.
yeah, you go nothing.
And then you're like all in. You put all your chips on. Do I do fixed on this? I probably don't.
Yeah,
That's a huge shift.
it's a huge
Those
shift.
squadron vehicles. So let's look at from my Death Guard perspective. Again, he's already heard my spiel. My Fennec Blight Haulers, I think, are absolutely spectacular as it stands right now. You're the first to hear it right here from a guy who's completely not ranked in absolutely anything 40K. So you can take that for whatever it's worth. But we are talking about 30 wounds of models in a faction that can give it -1 to hit. I think that's absolutely spectacular. Like, Death Guard are not known for their tank busting. And I'm not saying my Fennec Blight Hauler is all that good at tank busting. But they do hunt vehicles and monsters, so they get +1 to wound on both of those things. And 6 of them are actually, I think, not bad.
It becomes a real threat when you're shooting 6 Meltas and 6 crack missiles at people.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the crack missiles you fire at, well, it's definitely more than not nothing.
Exactly.
It's definitely more than not nothing. You fire 6 multi-meltas into a thing, it's gonna disappear.
Yeah, something's gonna go
Yeah,
away.
you have to be within range. I understand it's short range. I got it. And I'm not talking about being a wuss with these things. I am jamming. We be jamming. That's I am not. No, I'm not a man who's timid player.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in your face.
Yep.
No, but it's a tactical decision. I'm not talking about being reckless either, right? So it is 30 wounds, moving 10 inches, and here's another 30 wounds, moving 10 inches. Oh, and by the way, I also have drones that are flying around, and 3 of those as well. A combination of another 30 wounds. All of it at T9 with a 3+ save.
Yes.
Go ahead. Make your choices. Oh, did I also mention the rhinos that are moving around?
Not yet, right?
No, I didn't mention that part. So yeah, I think my Fennec Blight Haulers are legit. At the minimum, should be tested. I think they replace all the Predators. I think if you're looking for tank busts, I think they just simply replace all that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Predator, you smash it, you score, bring it down. Of course you do.
You do, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. You kill one my Fennec Blight Hauler. How much did you score?
0.
0. Yeah, and it's 30 wounds.
Yeah.
As opposed to what, 12 on or something along those lines.
It's much better at denying secondary score.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah.
And what is the significant impact from a tank busting perspective?
You probably lose
Range.
Yeah, the range, because las cannons shoot at 48. The autocannon shoots at 48 as well.
Yeah.
You become a little bit less.
The missiles fire far enough.
They shoot 48 as well, I think.
Yeah.
And the Melta
And they
shoot
blast.
24. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Melta that's 24.
Yeah.
That's the big kneecap. Just don't be a wuss about it. And screen. Guess what you're going to screen it with? 40-point Nurglings. I'm not even kidding. They also spit out a -1 to hit. And then you have your
base contagion. Yeah.
Your base contagion, and you can get another -1 to weapon skill. Like this is no joke. You're gonna hang back. I'll just hit you with Melta guns. You're gonna come forward. I'm gonna.
I felt the -2 when I was playing in my round 6 actually against Alex, great player from Team Sweden, and then afterwards he.
The Canadian division of Team Sweden.
Yes, not the actual Team Sweden. Yeah.
It's a joke. It's really long.
Yeah.
Moving on.
But anyways, yes. So, like in our game, he was spitting out the -2 to hits all over the place with Cloud Flies, with the Nurglings and stuff like that. It was just absolutely ruining my day, right? All my Castigators were hitting on 5s, Emulators on 5s, everything. And it was, it was a pretty tough nut to crack. And
you can have a good time. If he had, now tell me something, if he had my Fennec Blight Haulers instead of.
I might have won.
Lies. He's lying. He's lying. All right, so the vehicle squadron change is, I think, a big deal.
Yes.
Helps whole whack little arm. Helps Tau.
Oh,
in a massive way.
thing, yeah.
Crisis suits are back on the menu. Who else ran a lot of vehicle squadrons? I can't really think of anything offhand per se. Maybe Guard if you love Sentinels or something like that. But they're not really all that common. That's about it though.
Yeah, it was mostly Tau, Orcs, and then because they have the kill cans, right?
Yeah, exactly. We missing anything else from 10th? I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The other, no, I think we kind of covered all the bases there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of in-depth analysis of the game from all various channels. You can go to Art of War. You can check out Scary. I love that guy. Check him out. Drop him a sub when you get a chance. Who else? Who else do we like? Any favorite channels?
Yeah, you got Vanguard Tactics. They're very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Box. That guy is a nut job for 40K. He's actually getting into AOS. I don't want I don't want to turn this into anyway. I love that game.
I know you do.
I love that game. But I like his approach to a lot of things. And what I like about it, he's got a corporate background, or at least he seems that way, or at least a training background, where he likes to coach. And that's really, I think, his big passion. I really enjoy his approach to it. It's very organized, very clean.
Yeah. Very systemic.
Yeah, exactly. Really love his channel as well. All right, so we got a league happening.
Yes, sir.
In the shop. It's going to be streamed starting July 19th, so this coming Friday at this point in time.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you thinking of running for that league? I'm going to give you a top 3 max, okay?
Sure.
Pretty sure I know what it is, but whatever.
You probably know. The third one you might not, but like for sure. So obviously what's on my mind right now is Sisters. There's a lot of depth in that codex. I don't think I've explored everything. Over this weekend, I used the Bringers of Flame detachment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other detachments in there that can,
Way to break.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The best.
Yeah. But like, there's still a lot of stuff in there that can be looked at. The other one is I could run it back because last season in the league I ran Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah.
So I ran Index Chaos Space Marines.
And they're actually looking really super sweet.
Very good. 8 detachments to choose from.
Oh, so
I would say like
that codex is so much fun.
Like 5 or 6 of them are actually competitively viable.
Yeah, but they're all fun.
They're all fun. That's the thing. Yeah.
The thing is, I don't want perfection, right? The Orc Codex wasn't 4 factions of perfection, and all of them were.
Yeah.
I would run Speed Freaks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Speed Freaks
I mean, they're
fantastic.
not the best, but I would run it. Now, if I'm gearing up, I like Dread Mob. I like Dread Mob before they nerfed Bully Boys. I mean, if you looked at Bully Boys, you kind of saw the writing on the wall. There was no freaking way they were going to keep all those.
They weren't keeping the 4+ Feel No Pain. Mega Knobs weren't going to be at 35 points per model. It was just crazy. And Green Tide as well, right? Like Green Tide kind of got like the
awesome.
It was great on release. And and then they got the triple nerf bad. And then now they're...
I don't know why they do that. Why do you guys... You nerf and they go, you know what, they do another nerf. Why?
It's like they almost over nerf and then they force you to go to a completely different detachment, right?
They do, yeah.
They force you to look into other things.
Anyway, Chaos Book, absolutely awesome. Tons of ways you can go. Are you going to explore maybe the cults?
Yeah, well... I was actually talking to Brian Crawford. Yeah, he ran Chaos Cults over this last weekend too, and
he had a really good time with it.
He ran a fantastic list.
Yeah.
Super scary. It's just like swarms and swarms of cultists, and they actually punch hard.
Yeah.
That's something that I'd want to look at as well. But
so Brian has a channel called The Other Guys with his partner David Patton.
Yes.
One of my favorite Irishmen.
Great GK player too.
Yeah. Great GK. Anyway, they have a great channel, so go check out The Other Guys as well. Brian had a great time over the tournament with it.
Yeah,
that was really cool. All right, so that's 2.
So that's 2, and the third one is kind of going to be a left field. It's actually AdMech is.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. I think they're great.
Especially
no.
with the
AdMech right
changes
now is fan.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people are still like kind of thinking the fact that they're like there's only one way to play them, and it's you got to invest like $6,000 to buy like 1 million Vanguard and Rangers. But
I think that's still good.
It's still it's
like
definitely still good.
If you want to invest $6,000 in plastic, check out xplanetgames.com.
That's a good plug.
Like that.
Yeah.
But I mean. It's okay. No one's going to tell you what to do or how to hobby.
Yeah, exactly. But like, there's some pretty good, interesting strategies that you can actually do with AdMech now, just because of the fact that they stopped being a 4+ army, where in the sense that I mean like they don't hit on 4s anymore. Yeah. You can actually have them hit on 3s in whatever mode you think is like in the turn you think it counts, whether it's shooting or melee. You can choose.
The fact that they can do all those electric prayers, I can't remember what they're called. The psalms,
the canticles and stuff.
Yeah. On like way more units is absolutely fantastic. That salvages an enormous amount of their book.
Yeah, for sure. And you get a lot of extra mileage using the stratagems because they splash over to battle line units or something like that, and all the buffs to like all the the heavy guns that they got. Like the Dune Crawler, I forgot what the name is called, but like it got like
cool
the cool crab thing.
Crab tank. Cool crab tank.
Yeah, that thing. like they got like better hits, the strength got a little bit higher, and the same with all the Iron Striders, like the chickens, the last cannon chickens. Yeah.
Yep.
They got like better.
There's another vehicle squadron.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not going to give up a whole whack load to bring it down until you wipe them out.
But yeah, so there's a lot of depth, I think, now in the AdMech Codex, and that's something that I'd want to potentially look into.
Yeah, I love when you're building a 40K list. Yes, I really love 10th edition. When you're building a 40K list and taking all these little minutiae into consideration when you're building is fun.
Yeah.
I really super enjoy that. If I was playing in my league, spoiler, I'm not, because we sold out and I let other people play, so I guess I don't get to play. But if I was playing in my league, I would be playing Death Guard.
Of course, yeah.
Death Guard would be my very first choice. I got a crazy list that I want to test out. And yeah, I think they're great. I really want to test out my Fennec Blight Haulers. I want to test out
the Demon Prince.
The Demon Prince. We've had that conversation already. I actually think the Demon Prince is legit fantastic. I know the internet doesn't say so. Again, he's already heard my spiel on it. But basically what I'm saying is compare the Demon Prince to Death Shroud. And you're like, what? Why would I ever take a Demon Prince? No, seriously, compare it. You'll find saves, durability are basically the same, except the Demon Prince is far more mobile. Oh, but it has less attacks. It does have less attacks, but the disparity between the amount of damage on average between them are about 4 points, of which the Demon Prince can more than make up for with an enhancement. And you're like, yeah, but now you made it more expensive. You're right, but what list that you build, you don't have 15 or 20 points just lying around, period, always.
Yeah, that's one of the gripes with 10th edition, right, where we lost the war gear, we lost unit size, so everything has to be fixed based off of whatever the points that GW prescribes to us.
So 15 or 20 points of your list is basically free. Free. So no, I don't count it. I don't care. And even if you do count it, it still works out better. And the thing moves 7 extra inches more as well.
It's a lot. Especially in Death Guard. It's very, very...
It is huge. Now picture the list. 3 Blowtrones, 6 my Fennec Blight Haulers, a Demon Prince. And where are we at right now? We're at 10 models that move 10 inches.
Yeah.
All high wounds. 2 Rhinos fully loaded with squads of 5 Marines. So, sorry, 10 Marines.
Yes.
Split into 2 units of 5. 1 aggressively with a Foul Blight Spawn to always give strike first. And the other one is another experiment I'm doing. I'm gonna actually test out the Banner Boy. I can't remember what he's called because I would never take him until Pariah. And Pariah, as you said, is all about durability.
Yeah.
And so the concept is you basically do a Tokyo Drift with a Rhino. You dump the melee unit in front and just go, I'm on this circle, and then you dump the guys with the banner in the back, and they're just kitted out with guns. And that unit is separate from the melee unit.
Yeah.
So the wounds do not spill over, but yet they're screen and screen hard, always striking first with basically 4 heavy power fists. And the unit in back with the banner is sitting at 17 OC.
Yeah, it's not nothing, right?
Not nothing.
It's not nothing.
That's 17 additional OC on top of the Rhino and the unit of 5. I'm going to perform Terraform. Do something about it.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Most of the time, most people can't in that situation, yeah.
When I'm pushing you also with 60 wounds of my Fennec Blight Haulers and 30 wounds of drones. Oh, and did I tell you about the Demon Prince? Yeah. Stop me. Dare you. All right, so Death Guard. Death Guard, big fan. Going to test out those weird things. You don't have to listen to me. I am ranked in absolutely nothing. Nothing. This is pure
speculation.
But I have been playing for quite a long while, and I'd be absolutely shocked if I wasn't very close to being right. I think this thing's got legs, so I'm going to try it out. Well, potentially. Second army would be Orcs. I would take Dread Mob 100%. I love Dread Mob. I do not agree with taking 18 kilocans.
Yeah.
I think 12 kilocans is plenty. You don't have strats to go around to cover all your options.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are you doing? You don't need to win more, guys. Classic Magic wording, right? You don't need to win more. You just need to win. 12 kilocans picks up tons
of
all
stuff,
by
yeah.
itself. What I do like is 60 grots. 1 unit of 20 and 4 10-mans. I love the reactionary little strat they have.
Yeah.
Where they get the GTFO right out of here. Or you could move forward.
Move forward and block.
And just
right?
block
Yeah.
or just pile onto an objective to deny and mess around with.
Grots are very, they're very like unassuming because they're small.
So good.
But for some reason they're OC2, so it's like you reactionary move them, and suddenly it's like you got
can't take this from
3 or 4 dudes on there. And it's like 8 OC,
can't take
and you're
this from
pushing stuff off.
Yeah.
They're not scoring
way.
primary anymore. It's
And
a
guess
big
what they
thing.
are in that sub faction?
Battle line, right? Yeah, that's why you can take your 60.
Love orcs.
Yeah.
Absolutely
great.
love orcs. If I had a third choice, it's not like I don't own models, but if I had a third choice, I'd probably go Dark Angels.
Oh yes.
Dark Angels are hot. Holy crap.
It's funny you chose both of the armies that I lost to this weekend, Death Guard and
Really?
Dark Angels. Yeah.
I did not look this up.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was,
they're ridiculous.
and again, it's a Dark Angels with the Deathwing Knights. Their durability is just off the charts with what they can do.
They're gonna get
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, don't go rush buying 30 unless you already own the whole Deathwing box. Have fun with that right now because you're on the clock. Like get that army on the field, start smashing tournaments with them.
Yeah.
But there's no way it's staying that way. They overcompensated.
Yes.
I wish they did more with Lionel. Love that guy. Good
guy.
Good guy. That guy is great. He's a great guy. So I think that's it. That's me. Right? We got the 3. You got the 3. And I think we're going to call it right there, unless you got anything else to say. You want to give any shout-outs?
No, just shout outs to obviously Wargame Warriors.
Wait, flash the gang sign.
Yeah.
Flash it.
No.
Do it.
No.
Okay, I told him. Right there. So you see it? It's 2 W's. You can use that.
Yeah.
You can use that. The girls will
yes.
think you're wicked.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but that's a shout out to Wargame Warriors. Shout out to obviously thank you Lionel for having me on this roundtable. Really appreciate the opportunity and just get to chat Warhammer and talk shop. Love doing this. Yeah.
Never have to thank me. I love you, kid. Yeah. All right, guys, have a phenomenal night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And yeah, if you're in the area, drop by. Why not? And we got a few other events. Like I said, we got the leagues kicking off. This Wednesday, we'll be streaming AOS. This Friday, we'll be streaming 40K. And then, of course, we got our regular RTTs. So that'll be something cool, of which he most of the time comes out to anyway. So we'll probably see your face
Yeah,
again.
for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys, have a tremendous night. Love ya. Catch you next time.
See ya.